Merry Christmas! Not really. I wanted to do this video early this year because one of the tricks that I used to get this meal at such a low, rock bottomed out price was I had to be patient and I had to keep looking. So if I show you this right before Christmas and you want to do it, you may not be able to. So that is why I'm doing it extra early this year. So I'll explain what that is once we get over there, but it's a great trick if you can pull it off, and I did. So we're going to show you how to do that. So today we're going to create a $5 Christmas dinner for five. Five people are going to eat on $5, and it actually is less than $5. I spent $4.52. So I had a couple of pennies left over, and I couldn't think what to do. I really wanted to make a dessert, but I couldn't make that happen. But I am going to do that dessert in a different video because it's really cool. It's how you can make a sorbet. It's really cool, really inexpensive. But it would have brought me over the $5 limit. Now, I made the limit. I could have increased it, but I didn't want to because I did my Thanksgiving one at $5. I want to do this one at $5. So what I did was I grabbed a couple of carrots. I don't know if I'm going to use them. So if I don't, it's $4.52. If I do, it's $4.98, but still under that $5 budget. So without further ado, we got some cooking to do. So let's get it. Let's go. Let's see if those pots. Come on. All right, here we go. Here's everything I got and then what I'm going to use, unless I've forgotten like an ingredient or something like that. So in doing these types of things, sometimes it works out best if you do multiple shopping. I had to keep my eye peeled for what I wanted to do for the deal I'm going to show you. So, and I hadn't seen it. So I kind of had given up on, I'm probably not going to find a good price. So I went to Aldi's, and for me, Aldi's, ShopRite, Acme, Dollar Tree are all right in the same area. I even have a Dollar Tree right outside my neighborhood. So I went to Aldi's to look to see if they had some sliced meat in there, and I was thinking ham and cabbage. Totally changed my mind when I went to ShopRite, but anyway, so they had stuffing for 75 cents in there. I had stuffing at home, so I charged myself 75 cents for that. Macaroni and cheese was 58 cents. I already had the mixed vegetables. That was 98 cents. I paid $1.06 for the sweet potatoes and roast beef. That I'll tell you what I did for the trick in that as soon as I'm done. The roast beef, I spent a whopping $1.15. And I'm going to put the receipt up so that you could see I'm not lying about it because it is kind of unbelievable. I couldn't believe it either. Anyway, I still had, it brought me to $4.52. That would be with one carrot. I grabbed a carrot because I didn't know. I thought maybe I could figure out something to do with that. When I got home, I was like, you know what? I could have gotten 3 carrots. So I took 2 smaller ones out of my refrigerator to make sure that they were smaller than what I got. So it would be either equal to or less than what I spent. Now, how did I get that meat for $1.15? If you go to a store that has where they slice the meat for you, they oftentimes will take the end cuts, or if they slice something and the person's like, oh no, I don't want that, they throw it into this pile. And that's what that is. They're called end cuts. Now, what I do is I make friends with everybody everywhere I go just because I'm a genuinely nice person. And a lot of times they'll give me something at a discounted rate. This was not anything special. I'm just telling you that. I kept going by the end cut counter, end cut. Every time I went to the store, I looped around to see if I could find it. And I did. I had the ham and cabbage all set out. I went in there to get the sweet potatoes because they were cheaper there. And I thought, let me go over there one more time. $1.15 for roast beef, y'all. I'm going to put the receipt up. You're going to see it. Or it may already be up. So that's everything that I bought. The pantry staples, I believe I'm using, and this time I tried to really limit to myself to very, very minimal things. I I have the country crock vegetable spread. I have a little bit of flour because I want to make a gravy. I have beef and chicken bouillon out there because I'm going to try and cut the salt by adding chicken bouillon, the low sodium chicken bouillon with the beef. I have some salt, pepper, and some oil. I think I might put a little salt on the skin of the potato, but I haven't decided. About those carrots, I'm not sure what I'm going to do with them or if I'm going to do anything with them. So if I decide not to use them, the meal's going to be $4.52. If I decide to use it, it's going to be $4.98, I think. If I got my numbers right, I'm always getting them wrong. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to scrub up those potatoes and get those going because they're going to take the longest to cook. All right, I've made potatoes, yams, sweet potatoes on here before. I've explained what I do and why I do, but we're going to do it again today. I wash the potatoes first because you're going to eat the skin, and then I roll it in the oil. The reason I do that, because you want to poke some holes in it. Try to do it with my one hand real quick. The reason I do that is that if you pour the oil on the potato after you poke the hole, sometimes it like closes up the hole. I don't know. Now with the sweet potatoes, I'm going to go all the way around because I don't want all of the juice dripping out because we're going to eat it. So let me get a fork. Okay, I don't know why I grabbed that knife. I do about 3, unless they're super long. That's a hard potato, goodness. Unless they're super long, then I'll do 4. But that's all I'm going to do to the sweet potatoes. Just like that. I have my oven preheating at, I don't know, it's 425, 450, something like that. And they take about anywhere from 35 to 50 minutes, depending on how big. Like this little guy here isn't going to take long at all. And then when this gets about halfway through, I'm going to start cooking the rest of it. Because the rest isn't going to take me an hour to make it. At least it shouldn't. It takes longer when you're recording though, guys. Let me tell you, I find it doubles. All right, onward, forward. So I'm going to do 3 poke holes in each one of these. I'm going to throw them in my lined cookie sheet because I don't want to have a whole bunch of cleanup later. I also wanted to mention I'm putting them on the wire rack. All right, we're going to find out what I got here, if I got a gem or I got a dud. I feel like I got a gem, but we'll see. It's like sealed on there. I have to cut it. It's got 2 layers. You pull it off and there's another layer down there. I'm hoping I got something good here, guys. Good Lord. Got this in there tight. Oh, look, is that roast beef or is that a piece of ham? That looks like a piece of ham, guys. But we did good. We did quite it. We got 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces of meat and some ham. Dang, I wish I would have gotten that cabbage now. All right, onward, forward. So as I'm looking through, I wanted to really work out what did I actually get, because sometimes you don't always get. I thought that might have been turkey for a minute. And as I'm going, look, there's other little pieces buried. Now that's the end of it, but it is the offcuts. But we're going to put this stuff in some gravy. It's going to be fine. I don't know what I'm going to do with that big old piece of ham. I might just treat it like the roast beef. I'm not sure yet, though. I decided what I was going to do with the carrots. I was thinking and thinking and thinking, and I remember a long time ago, I made a carrot ribbon salad kind of a thing. That's what we're going to do. We're going to get something fresh amongst all this processed food. And yes, I know it's all processed, but we only have $5. So what you're going to do is I'm going to get as much of this carrot as possible. And I scrubbed the outsides. I didn't peel the outside. So if you don't like the outside skin, peel it off. What you're going to do is you're just going to take some, I'm going to try and roll it so it kind of comes out curly. But if it doesn't, then that's just a plan and it'll be a fail if it doesn't. But it'll still be okay. So I think I'm going to go this way. Come towards me. Go around the edge. Oh, nope, that didn't work out. Let's give it another go. Yeah, it's not going to work out. So I'm just going to cut some strips, just like that. And I'll curl them into, if I can, when I'm done. Just in, when they get on the plate, we'll curl them up. So that's what I'm going to do. I don't think you want to sit here and watch me peel a carrot. I got to peel it a little bit with a little pressure to get a good piece. So I will peel all these carrots up and then I will show you what that looks like. I want to show you something. This is making a lot of carrot. I've only done one of my carrots. I'm thinking I might just do two and save one for something else. Maybe putting it in the stuffing to get a little bit of crunch because we don't have any nuts or cranberries or celery. I mean, it's all seasoned, but I'm thinking that's what I want to do. I'll make a decision after I get through this next carrot because that is a lot of carrot for a side and we have quite a bit of food coming. So I'm going to continue on. All right, so this is the second carrot. This is more than enough carrots for a side dish. I'm going to use these little pieces that I got out of the middle. I'm going to use those in the stuffing, I think. And we still have another carrot. We'll figure out what to do with it. I'm going to work it in. If I add it to the stuffing, I do. If not, we just take 14 cents off the bill. All right. So let me get this into a bowl. All right, so I diced up those two little pieces and some of the other carrot. I'm going to put these in a bowl. And I picked out as much of the skin as I could find because they were turning like brown. Nobody wants that. I see a piece right now. See, like this one? Oh, my fingers are turning orange. They were kind of brownish, so I don't like that. I want it to look fresh, not stale. All right. So let's start mixing. All right, so we're going to start with 2 tablespoons of orange juice, or if you don't have it, maybe you have lemon juice in the refrigerator. I actually happen to have a couple of mandarin oranges laying around, so I decided that I was just going to use that. So about 2 tablespoons, really depending on how, I'm going to go 2.5. Okay, need a tablespoon of oil, olive oil, extra virgin, or whatever you have. Now, I could have mixed this in another bowl, shook it up, and did all that. I'm just not going to. I have 1/8 of a teaspoon of salt. That was sea salt, finely crushed. We have 2 teaspoons honey. Or maple syrup if you don't have. Maybe you got that. Something sweet. 2 teaspoons minced parsley, because that's what I have. I don't have fresh. And then we need some pepper, which I don't have out. Hold on a moment. And a nice little pinch of pepper, maybe 1.5 pinches. Now we're going to give this a nice toss, and then we're going to put it in the refrigerator. We're going to let all of those flavors come together, and it'll be ready when we eat, and then we'll curl it up, kind of. At least I hope that's the plan. Make like a little twirl like you would do with spaghetti. feel like I'm forgetting something. If I remember, I will. But this is a sweet. There's no vinegar in it. Kind of got smaller as it went on. Maybe I'll throw the rest of that carrot in here. I might just do that. Because it really shrunk up when you hit it with the liquids. All right. So I'm going to shoot up the rest of that carrot, throw it in here, and just put it in the refrigerator for ourselves. All right. So in the pot, I have a little bit of butter or country crock. I'm going to slide in our carrots. And we're just going to saute these a little bit for the stuffing, just to give it a little bit of something extra, since I don't have any celery or a seasoning blend. So I'm just going to soften these up just a little bit, not a lot, because I want some crunch. It's not very much, but it's what I have. All right, so those have softened down more than I wanted them to. I'm going to bring the 1.5 cups of chicken broth to a boil and some butter. My water is boiling for the macaroni and cheese. I'm just doing it per the package instructions. It's boiling, so in this is going to go. Instead of milk, I'm going to use some of the starchy water to make the macaroni and cheese. Back to a boil, adding the stuffing, giving it a toss, turning it off, setting it in the back. That's all we're going to do. We're going to let that bad boy just steep back there with the carrots. That's why I didn't want them super soft. But sometimes it is what it is. All right, that's going to go in the back. Those are done. All right, so I'm going to brown the meat up a little bit in this pan. I have another pan, a small one over here, that I'm going to do the ham in. Unfortunately, I just realized that Eric can't eat the meat. There is dried milk in there. So, fortunately for me, I have some ham in the refrigerator that I could take out and warm up for him. But there's plenty here for him. So I might have one of the other kids come in and help me if they want to. Okay, so what I'm going to do is the big pieces of roast beef that had like all that on the back, I kind of just shaved it off a little bit. Not that it wasn't worth eating, it's just that maybe when they saw it on their plate, they might think, what's that? And not want to eat it. So I did the best I could. That was that piece that was hidden. My fingers are still orange from the carrots. And here's the other one. I just scraped it just a little bit. So I'm going to brown these up a little bit, or warm them up, I guess is the word I'm looking for. And the pieces that I cut off, I'm actually going to keep so they could flavor the gravy that I'm going to make. But it's just not going to be attached. So that's all I'm going to do is just warm this through. I'm going to do the same thing with the ham. I'm just going to take it over here. Oh, almost dropped it. I take this over to the smaller pan and I'm going to warm it there. And then we'll season that up with something. The counter is getting so messy. Yikes. All right, so let me brown this up and then we'll show you when we get there. All right, so that's basically just warmed through. I don't want to overcook it because it's already been cooked once. So I'm going to take this off. I'm going to stick it on this plate over here and we're going to start making the gravy in this pan. So let's put this to the side. I don't want it to be rubbery. All right, let me clear out the pan. All right, so I'm going to make a roux. Let me turn that down. I'm sorry, I turned the pan off for a minute to walk away. Every time I walk away, my pan's on, I burn things. That's about a tablespoon of flour-ish. I meant to turn the rear on for Eric. I turned the front one on, started cooking our ham. Okay. I feel bad for him, but he'll have something good. All right, so what we're gonna do now, hopefully I have enough flour in here. If I don't, I can always get cornstarch and add it. This is half chicken broth and half beef broth. And we're just gonna bring that to a nice boil. If I don't like the way it turns out, I'll start over again with just beef broth. It's too salty. I'll try some another way. All right, so we're gonna just keep letting this simmer. I'm gonna continue to add the water until we get where we wanna go. And then I'll finish up the ham. I turned that off for now. All right, to the ham, all I had cooked it in was a little bit of water. I'm gonna sweeten it up because we like our ham sweet. I also like pineapple on it, but we don't have that. But I didn't know that we were having ham. So I'm gonna put a little bit of this cheap old syrup. If you have some good stuff, use that. And a little bit of brown sugar to make a glaze. And that is all I'm gonna do with this. Still waiting on my gravy to thicken up. I put extra broth in there because I didn't have enough liquid in there. So I'm making the gravy a second time. And this time I put a little bit of gravy master in there just to give it a little bit of color. That should be good. And we're just gonna warm that through. Let that make a little bit of a glaze on the ham, and we'll flip it over a couple times in the syrup and whatnot. I don't want to oversweet everything though. But that's just what we're gonna do. We're just gonna warm it through. Right, it's been a little bit. I'm just gonna put a little more brown sugar on this side. Not a lot because there's still some in the pan. And then we're gonna I might as well throw it to my hand. Not gonna add any more syrup though. And we're just gonna flip-flop it. This is a bit of a fatty line in the back, but I'm leaving it on for flavor. All right, so just gonna let that thicken up. All right, it's not as thick as I would like at the moment, but it will thicken up a little bit. I added a little bit of a cornstarch slurry. I didn't put enough flour in, but while it's still thickening, pardon the arm, we're going to add the meat into the gravy and let it soak up some of that flavor. And now I have too much gravy. Before I didn't have enough. Oops. Before I didn't have enough, now I have too much. But that's all right. If it's just soaking and not boiling in it, it'll be fine. All right. So I'm going to put a lid on that. I'm going to make the macaroni and cheese per the package instructions. When it says add milk, I'm just going to add starchy water. There's the caramelized ham. I'm making Eric's macaroni and cheese now with the dairy-free. All right, so I took a couple of pieces of deli ham that I had in the refrigerator, and I just cooked it the same way I did our ham with a little syrup and a tiny bit of brown sugar, and that's what he's going to eat as his meat. Everything else he can have. And dinner is done for $5 ding-dang, guys. We got the roast beef. We got the carrot salad, the candied ham. We got some gravy, green bean stuffing, some macaroni and cheese, and some yams. Let me plate this up. Tell me that's not a feast for $5. And there's our plate. This one is Eric's. It's the dairy-free. I got a little bit of ham up there and his macaroni and cheese. I didn't put the butter and stuff on my potatoes because I didn't want it running all over my plate before I can get there to eat it. Well, we got some sweet potatoes, macaroni and cheese, a fresh carrot salad, a chunk of ham, some roast beef, stuffing, and mixed vegetables. Tell me I didn't knock this one out of the park. I'm kind of proud of myself. All right, so I'm going to meet you at the table. If you get any benefit at all from my content, you can help me out by clicking like, share, commenting, and definitely hit that subscribe button. And don't forget to hit the notification bell so you'll be notified every time I upload a new video. Merry Christmas! This, can you believe this? $5. Oh, I should have told him. Dang it! $5. All of that. Crazy. Or all of this, because you have something I didn't buy, but all of that. $5 ding dang dollars. I knocked this one out of the park. I'm going to start with the roast beef. You didn't get it. Let me just try it real quick. Oh, that's good. And the good part is I didn't have to season it a lot because it was already cooked. All right, your ham was seasoned like mine, so let's take a taste of that. It's good because I lick my fingers.
That's really good.
I got a little piece of fat in my mouth, but that's good. That's really good. Here's something that nobody's ever had. Well, you had something like this maybe 2 years ago. It was a long time ago. So just stir it up. It's a fresh, like, carrot salad. Don't you remember I did a extreme video for me, and then I made this carrot salad with it. Do you remember that? Oh, you ate it up. I did a vinaigrette. This one's a little bit different. All right, you ready? Go. Well, that's fresh tasting, right?
Yeah, that's good.
Everything else on our plate, I'm pretty sure everybody's had. Oh, try the stuffing. I threw some carrot in there, and I want to see how that kind of, because we had no celery. I want to see how that came out. I'm still holding some in my cheek. You ready? Let's go. I can actually taste the carrot, can you?
Yeah.
I like it. I might start just doing that just cause. Wow. All right. Well, let me get everybody else fed. We'll see what they think about it, and we'll let you know. Bye-bye. Merry Christmas. Christmas dinner's over. How'd we do? Boom. Couldn't finish it. Not at all. And tell you, try we did. But we really did do a good job eating most of it. I did make a little bit too much gravy. I thought there wasn't going to be enough, and then I went in and overdid it. But that's okay. Let me ask the kids what they thought about dinner, and then I'll get to my final thoughts. Who said? Eric, what'd you think?
I thought it was really nice. I liked the ham that you made me. Stuffing. And the stuffing.
Yeah, he liked the stuffing with the carrots in it. Aiden, what'd you think about dinner?
Dinner was really good, and I loved the way you did the ham.
To the ham, yeah, he really liked that ham. Tyler, what'd you think about dinner?
That was very good. I loved all of it. The roast beef was delicious.
Yeah, that roast beef really was tender, and I didn't have to season it a whole lot because it was already seasoned. So I enjoyed all of it. I ate so much I feel like I'm going to be sick. And I'm not a big eater. I've said that a bazillion times on here, and I really pushed it in today. So I have to go take a nap. Good thing I got the kids because they could do the dishes. But if you don't do anything that I've done in this video, at least make yourself aware about that deli counter. Because I'm thinking I got that deal because it's the holidays. People are getting a lot of lunch meat. Like, it's always there, but there was a lot when I went. So just keep it in mind. It just circle by that section when you go in the grocery store. You might land on a deal as well. So there you have it. I hope you try it. I hope you like it. Leave me a comment either way. See you later. Bye.